This is Scott from Ion Concert Media, and the world premiere of the new film for Daniel Kallman's Sea Creatures is just around the corner, coming up on April 22nd. Today, I want to spend a little time talking about how we actually get those images to move on screen. How does animation work? How did we go about turning those pictures from the students into the film that you see in the final result? The first step in this process is for us to collect the artwork from the students. And what we've got here is just some. We wound up with literally hundreds of images from the students at Wichita Public Schools. And they all came in this sort of a format. So basically, the students were working on white paper, and then they drew their images with markers or watercolors or crayons or whatever. Some of them, a lot of them, are just one image on a white background. But then we've also got images that are like complete scenes. I can't do much with this as a picture, right? If I animated one of these, everything in this scene, including the seafloor and the waves and everything, are going to move at the same time. So we need to find a good picture to work with. The hardest, well, not hardest, but it took a lot of time going through hundreds and hundreds of images and finding ones that would work well for what we needed in any given moment. Okay, this is a good choice. We got a dolphin, we got to get rid of some water, we got to get rid of some sky, we got to get rid of a ball that he's playing with. So the way we're going to do that is I'm going to open up Photoshop and I'm going to start a new composition. There he is. So first we can crop it. Okay, now we got to get rid of water. We got to get rid of some black water drops, and we got to get rid of the basketball over here. Photoshop makes it really easy. Whoops, wrong one. They've got this cool little tool called the Magic Eraser tool. We're going to set this back to 150. Hit it. Okay, that took care of almost everything. We got to get rid of some water drops, and we got to get rid of the basketball. To do that, we just take the regular old eraser tool, which turns into a circle. We can edit the size of it with this little controller here. And now we can get rid of individual elements. I'm intentionally leaving some of the stuff so I can show you a cool little thing about Adobe in a minute. In fact, let's get rid of this one and just leave the ball. Okay, so now we've got a transparent alpha layer around the dolphin, so that when he goes into the animating software, all we're going to see is the dolphin and this basketball, which I'm leaving there intentionally for now. Now we can get out of Photoshop, and I'm going to open up Premiere. No, I'm not. I'm going to open up After Effects. So Photoshop is an Adobe product that works well for still images. Now we want to start animating this, and Adobe has two products to do that. One is Premiere, which does 2D film editing, and this is After Effects. This is a much more complicated program. It'll actually allows you to animate in 3D. So starting down here, these are all of our assets. This is the fifth movement, the shark's movement, and this is all of the different images that were used to make this movement. This is our scene from the top. This is the scene looking from the right to the left. This is a cool scene that kind of breaks it into a diagonal, so you can kind of see the 3D positioning of all the elements. And then this is the active camera. This is actually what the film is going to look like when it gets rendered. And if I pull on the timeline, we can watch that dolphin swim across the screen. Here he comes. That's how these views work. 4 different views that help you figure out how to place things in 3D space. Okay, so what we want to do now is add an element to this scene. Now I've just added it to our After Effects composition. Here it is along the edge. So we're going to bring it out so that it's not in the back of the scene anymore. It's moving up towards the front of the scene, and then it pops into view here. In the active camera, you can see that it's too high to be captured by the actual camera view that's going to get rendered. So we also need to drop it, get it down into the frame like that. And he's at an awkward angle, so we also need to do rotation. I think it's going to be the Z rotation. Yep, that gets him to straighten out a little bit so it looks like he's swimming. Like that. So, all right, so now I'm going to change this to a single view so it's easier to see. We've still got that ball on his snout. I just want to show you how easy this is in After Effects. If I go out of here and go back into Photoshop, go back into After Effects, and it's going to take just a, oh, there it goes. So now the ball is gone. That After Effects, they call it the Adobe Creative Cloud, and all of the products link to each other so that in your workflow, you can make a change in Photoshop, it'll affect in After Effects, and then after After Effects, we're going to move this into Premiere for the final render, and that change will just follow straight through After Effects and into Premiere. So you don't have to like go back and do a whole bunch, like reanimate this character. You can leave all of the animations in place and just make some tweaks in the source file. It's really cool. All right, now we want him to move on screen. To do that, we're going to, first of all, set the place where we want him to come onto the scene. And I think we're going to let him come out just a little bit in front of the dolphin. So right there, this is our timeline. And right now we're setting this at basically 39 seconds. Is that what this is? Oh, it's going to be about 40 seconds into this sequence. And then we're going to set a keyframe by clicking this little stopwatch. When I click this, a little diamond shows up on the timeline. That diamond is a keyframe, and it's telling the computer exactly where it wants this image to be at that moment in time. And we, because of our software, we render everything at 30 frames per second. So every second there's 30 frames, and in each frame you can set a keyframe. You could be moving an image 30 times every second and telling the computer where you want it to be. And that's how, you know, when they hand drew animations, they did 24 frames a second, so they had to color 24 pictures for every second of footage, which was a lot of work. Modern video editing makes it super easy. I just set one keyframe. I'm going to advance the timeline to where I want this guy to be. Oops, you know what? What we didn't do is we didn't set him off the screen. I'm going to go back to this timeline. He's right now sitting in the middle of the scene. We need to move him off. So we're moving him to the left. I can make this bigger. Now it's easier to see him. Now he's off to the left. Get him all the way off the screen. There. And the keyframe is still there. It's telling the computer at this moment in time, this is where he should be sitting. Now I'm going to advance to where I want him to be coming off the screen. Let's take that spot right there. And now we're just going to take the position and drag him to the right. Here he goes. So he's going to wind up being in front of the blue puffer fish. Now he's totally off the screen. So now if I go back to the beginning of that scene, here's his trajectory. This line shows you the path he's going to take. And hit play. The computer's going to have a hard time rendering this in real time, so the music is probably going to drop as it crunches all of the data. But I'm going to hit play, and we'll be able to watch him swim across the screen. Here he comes. There's the music dropping out. So he comes on screen with the dolphin, the first dolphin, but the first dolphin probably swims a little faster than he does. Not much, I guess. And then here comes the blue pufferfish, who definitely is swimming faster than he is. Okay, that is really quick how we put everything together inside of the Adobe Creative Suite. We went from Photoshop to After Effects, and then everything winds up ultimately in Premiere for the final render. And then that's what you're going to get to watch on Earth Day, April 22nd, when Sea Creatures, visual accompaniment to the score by Daniel Kallman, premieres with the Wichita Symphony Orchestra.